Alert, chosen one. Something extraordinary is happening, and it cannot wait. October 20, 2025 marks a rare celestial event, the Moon-Venus conjunction, and yes you, are about to witness a cosmic shift. This is no ordinary alignment. This rare convergence will expose what has been hidden, and it's not just the stars above that are aligning, it's your soul, your journey, your awakening. The energy will cut through the illusion. It will reveal the spiritual narcissism, the ego craving, the false light performers that have been deceiving the masses. You've seen them, the ones who claim to hold the truth, yet led you astray. This cosmic moment will lay them bare, their masks falling. It's time to see the world for what it truly is, and it's time for you to reclaim your light. This is your moment. The universe is calling you to step into your power, to stand tall in your truth. This alignment is a transformation waiting to happen for you. The question is, will you answer? Will you awaken to the wisdom that has always been within you? Will you be the one to break free from the falsehoods and rise above the chaos? The world is shifting, but so are you. The light is calling you, and as it shines brighter, it will expose everything. No one can hide in the shadows forever. The clock is ticking. The Moon-Venus conjunction is just hours away. Chosen one, will you witness your own awakening? Drop a comment below, share what this rare alignment means to you. Don't keep this to yourself. Let the world know. There's something extraordinary happening in the skies on October 20th, 2025, and you might not even know about it yet. A rare celestial event will unfold, an alignment of the Moon and Venus. But this is just your average cosmic occurrence. This isn't the stuff of mere astrology fluff. No, what we're talking about here is a deep spiritual awakening, a powerful cosmic trigger that can spark profound revelations within us all. And trust me, what's about to unfold will expose some truths that you might not have seen coming. If you've been searching for clarity, for answers, for the truth about yourself or the world around you, this is the moment. This alignment between the Moon and Venus is more than just a pretty sight in the sky. It's a cosmic spotlight that's about to shine on some of the darkest, most hidden corners of spirituality, especially those places where ego, false light, and spiritual narcissism have been allowed to fester. I'm talking about the types of people who cloak themselves in the guise of enlightenment, all the while feeding their own egos at the expense of others. This is a time when those cracks in the spiritual world will be exposed. We are about to see what's really behind the curtain. Now you might be asking, what is a Moon-Venus conjunction and why should I care about it? Great question. Let me break it down for you. In the most basic terms, a conjunction is when two celestial bodies come into alignment with one another in the sky. It's like they're dancing together, perfectly in sync. When it happens with the Moon and Venus, it's significant because these two planets symbolize some of the most essential aspects of our human experience. The Moon represents our emotional self, the subconscious part of us that often remains hidden. It's about your inner world, your intuition, your instincts, the things that govern how you feel and react when you're not consciously aware. And then there, Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and values. Venus governs how we connect with others, what we value, and how we express our deepest desires. So when these two come together, it's like the universe is giving you an opportunity to dive deep into your emotional landscape, your most intimate feelings, and uncover the truths about your relationships, your desires, and ultimately, your true self. It's not just about love in a romantic sense, although that can certainly play a role. This conjunction is about all types of love, the love you have for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your community, and for the world. It's a time for healing, for uncovering hidden emotional truths that may have been lurking beneath the surface for years. When Venus and the Moon come together, they amplify your emotional sensitivity, creating an atmosphere where your innermost feelings and desires come into clear focus. It's almost like the universe is handing you a magnifying glass and saying, "Here, take a good, hard look at what's going on inside." But here's the kicker, this conjunction isn't just about personal growth. It's about the bigger picture too. It's about what's happening on a collective level, especially within spiritual communities. You see, this alignment will shine a light on the darker aspects of these spaces, the shadows that often go unnoticed or are purposefully ignored. And yes, those shadows are real. They're the parts of ourselves and our communities that we like to pretend aren't there, or worse, that we actively hide from. They're the egos, the cravings for power, the false light performers who prey on vulnerable seekers. Think about it, in any group or community, especially spiritual ones, there's always that risk of ego slipping in. It's easy to get lost in the idea of being spiritually enlightened, to think that you've reached some higher level of awareness that others don't have access to. And for some people, that belief feeds into a dangerous sense of superiority. I'm better than you, I've figured it out, and you haven't. This is spiritual narcissism at its finest, and trust me, the universe is about to expose it. The Moon-Venus conjunction acts as a cosmic mirror, showing us not only who we are but who we think we are, and that can be uncomfortable. It's going to challenge everything we think we know about our spiritual journeys, our practices, and our sense of self-worth. And if you've ever found yourself caught in a spiritual trap, thinking you're more enlightened than others, or perhaps caught up in someone else's toxic spiritual narrative, this conjunction will give you the clarity you need to break free from it. It will reveal the cracks in the spiritual world, and you'll finally see things for what they really are. We've all encountered those spiritual leaders who seem too perfect to be real, right? The ones who have got all the answers, who tell you they can guide you to enlightenment, but somehow something feels off. Maybe they're too quick to dismiss your doubts or make you feel small if you question their authority. Maybe they're obsessed with being seen as the guru or the master, and their every move is about maintaining that image. But under the surface, there's something darker. These are the individuals who may be struggling with their own egos, and the Moon-Venus conjunction will reveal these cracks for all to see. But this cosmic event doesn't just expose the shadows in others. It also gives you a chance to examine your own. What are the hidden parts of your own ego that you've been suppressing? What about the ways in which you've craved recognition or validation from others? It's so easy to fall into the trap of seeking approval from the people around you or from a community, especially when you're in a vulnerable place spiritually. The Moon-Venus conjunction will show you where you might be seeking validation in unhealthy ways, and it will give you the opportunity to let that go. It's a powerful reminder that the spiritual path is not about becoming better than others or attaining some sort of superiority. It's not about having all the answers or wearing an aura of perfection. No, the real spiritual journey is about uncovering your true self, embracing your flaws and imperfections, and seeking alignment with your own heart and soul. The universe is telling you, right now, that it's time to let go of false narratives, to get real about who you are and what you value, and to step into a more authentic, humble version of yourself. This is your moment of awakening, your cosmic invitation to break free from any false identities or illusions you've been holding on to. It's a time to shed the layers of the past and step into a new chapter of self-awareness and emotional clarity. It's a powerful opportunity for healing, growth, and transformation. As this rare celestial event unfolds, remember, you are being called to embrace your true self. The universe is showing you the way, and it's up to you to trust in that guidance. So, as you look up at the sky that night, let the Moon and Venus be your reminder that you are more than enough just as you are. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. The only person you need to answer to is yourself. And now, with this alignment, you have the chance to step into that truth fully. When the Moon and Venus align, it's not just a pretty sight, it's an invitation to go deeper, to uncover the hidden parts of yourself that need healing. And trust me, as you do this work, the world around you will shift too. It's a powerful moment, not just for you, but for everyone on this planet who's ready to step into their truth. So what's the next step for you? How will you use this alignment to heal, to grow, and to break free from those spiritual traps that may have been holding you back? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's talk about how you plan to harness the energy of this celestial event. What hidden truths do you think the Moon-Venus conjunction will reveal for you? Let's dive deeper into something that's far more common than you think, and it's lurking right within the spiritual communities that so many people turn to for guidance. We call it spiritual narcissism, and it's something that can be just as toxic, if not more so, than regular narcissism. At its core, spiritual narcissism is when people use spirituality as a tool to inflate their ego. Instead of using spiritual practices to grow, heal, or help others, these individuals use them to elevate themselves, to feel superior, to create a false image of enlightenment. They wear the robes of lightworkers, but behind the veil, it's all about their own ego. It's a dangerous game because it masquerades as something good, when really it's feeding the very darkness it claims to be against. You've seen them, right? The self-proclaimed gurus, the influencers who have somehow figured out the secret to enlightenment, and now they're selling it to you. They've got the quotes, the hashtags, the perfect lighting in their posts, all designed to make them look like they've unlocked the secrets of the universe. They're the ones who look like they have it all together, always happy, always peaceful, always radiating good vibes. But here's the thing, spirituality isn't about perfection, it's about growth. It's about understanding your flaws and integrating them into your whole being. Yet, these people use the teachings as a mask to cover up their insecurities, their hunger for attention, and their desperate need for validation. And it gets even more dangerous when their light isn't actually light at all. It's self-serving. The more attention they get, the more power they feel they have. They become addicted to the praise, the likes, the comments, and the followers. They craft a version of themselves that's carefully curated, always promoting an image of purity and enlightenment. But at their core, they're still feeding off their own need for power and adoration. It's a dangerous thing to allow these types of people to dictate what spirituality should look like, because in the end, they'll leave you feeling drained, confused, and perhaps even more disconnected than before. So what is this craving for ego really about? The truth is, the ego's hunger for recognition and validation is something that can derail the entire spiritual journey if you let it. In spiritual circles, this craving often manifests as a deep desire to be seen as better or more evolved than others. It's the person who can't wait to share their latest spiritual breakthrough on social media, but the intention behind it isn't to inspire or connect. It's to show off, to elevate themselves in the eyes of others. What's worse, the ego's craving can disrupt authentic connection. When people are more focused on proving how enlightened they are than on actually connecting on a deep, human level, it creates a barrier. You're no longer engaging with someone's true self, you're engaging with their image. And that's not true spiritual growth. Authenticity is key, and when the ego takes over, it puts up walls. It distracts you from doing the real work, the messy, uncomfortable work of self-exploration, of acknowledging your flaws, of integrating all parts of you, not just the pretty parts. And then there's the gatekeeping that comes with ego craving. Have you ever been in a spiritual conversation where someone subtly, or not so subtly, makes you feel like you don't belong, like you're not spiritually evolved enough to participate in the discussion? That's spiritual elitism at its worst. It's the feeling that certain people or practices are more enlightened than others, that there's some sort of hierarchy, with those at the top looking down on everyone else. But let me tell you, that's all ego. The real essence of spirituality is about unity and connection, not about separating ourselves based on who's more evolved. The universe doesn't work that way. It doesn't rank people, it connects them. The craving for superiority within spiritual circles is one of the biggest obstacles to true growth. Another form of ego-driven behavior is what I like to call one-upmanship. You know the type. The person who's always quick to share their latest discovery, their latest practice, or their latest download from the universe. Every conversation feels like a competition about who's more spiritually advanced. They can't seem to let anyone else have the spotlight, and that's not about serving the collective or spreading love. It's about feeding their own sense of importance. True spiritual growth, however, isn't about competing. It's about sharing, learning, and evolving together. It's about supporting each other on this journey, not turning it into a race. Now let's talk about another group that will be brought into sharper focus by this Moon-Venus conjunction, the so-called false light performers. These are the individuals who come across as pure, loving, and enlightened, but underneath it all, they are driven by self-interest, deception, or ignorance. They might have a massive following and seem like the embodiment of positivity, but in truth, they're spreading more confusion than clarity. They use their light to manipulate, to control, or to take advantage of others, all while hiding behind the veil of spirituality. The thing about false light is that it appears so good. It's easy to be drawn in by someone who radiates positivity, and seems to have all the answers. But when the Moon and Venus align on October 20th, you'll feel the shift. The energy will bring clarity to what's real and what's fake. The conjunction will expose the inconsistencies, the hidden agendas, and the egos lurking behind the so-called light. It's like turning on a flashlight in a dark room. The shadows can no longer hide. False light is often built on a foundation of manipulation. Take a look at some of the biggest spiritual influencers. They'll often create an environment where you feel like you need their teachings, their products, their wisdom to be truly happy or successful. They prey on people's vulnerabilities, offering the illusion of salvation in exchange for your trust or even your money. But this type of spiritual performance doesn't heal, it exploits. And when the Moon-Venus conjunction activates, you'll start to see through it. You'll see where these lights are not so pure, where they flicker with uncertainty and ego. History has given us examples of false light performers that can make these dynamics clearer. Think back to cult-like leaders who promised enlightenment but manipulated their followers for personal gain. Take the case of figures like Jim Jones or even more modern-day examples. They claim to be the enlightened ones, but in reality, they've built an empire off of false promises. The danger of false light is not only that it deceives, it can lead people astray, creating deep psychological wounds that are hard to heal. The Moon and Venus conjunction won't let that illusion persist. It will force the truth to come out into the light, and you'll see the deception for what it is. It's time to ask yourself, where do you fit into this? Are you truly walking your spiritual path, or are you being seduced by the false light of others? This is your moment of clarity. It's a cosmic invitation to realign with your own truth, your own essence. Let the conjunction guide you to a place of emotional clarity, where you can see through the layers of illusion and step into the light of true spiritual growth. The energy is here to help you let go of the fake, the ego-driven, and the shallow parts of spirituality that no longer serve you. This conjunction is your chance to be free of the spiritual traps that have held you back. You don't need anyone else's validation. You are the light you've been searching for, and now, with the cosmic energy of the Moon and Venus aligning, you can tap into that power like never before. What's been revealed to you? What false lights have you uncovered in your life? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. What's your take on the power of this rare cosmic event and how it's going to shift the way we see ourselves and others on this spiritual journey? The Moon-Venus conjunction on October 20th, 2025 is not just another event in the heavens. It's a spiritual wake-up call, especially for America. We are living in a moment where the landscape of spirituality has changed dramatically. The internet has made spiritual communities more accessible than ever before, but with that accessibility has come some unexpected consequences. While many have found a sense of connection, growth, and healing in these online spaces, there's also been a dark undercurrent that's been allowed to flourish: spiritual narcissism and false light. If you look around, you'll see that the desire for quick fixes, self-validation, and the promise of instant enlightenment has become a trend. From Instagram influencers with perfectly curated lives to YouTube spiritual gurus who claim to have the answers to all of life's questions, spiritual narcissism has thrived in the fertile soil of social media. These are the individuals who are more focused on their image, their followers, and their influence than on genuine spiritual awakening. And here's the truth: this is a cultural issue that affects not just a small group of people, but a broader societal dynamic that's now begging for a collective shift. The Moon-Venus conjunction is coming in at exactly the right time to serve as a spiritual truth reveal moment for us all. This alignment is a cosmic invitation to look deeper, to see through the illusions that have been built around us, and to call out the false narratives we've been sold. It's a time to separate the genuine from the performative, to distinguish between real growth and ego-driven spirituality. If you've been seeking answers, looking for guidance, or feeling lost in the noise of social media and spiritual trends, this event is your opportunity to pause, reflect, and realign. It's time to wake up. So how can you harness this potent energy for your own growth? How can you use this alignment to clear away the fog and see things as they truly are? It starts with slowing down and turning inward. The Moon-Venus conjunction invites you to engage with yourself on a deeper level. It's about breaking free from external distractions and seeking clarity on your own terms. One of the most powerful tools you can use right now is journaling. Grab a pen and write down your thoughts, your feelings, your fears. Ask yourself the hard questions. Where am I getting caught in the need for external validation? Where in my life am I playing a role or wearing a mask, instead of showing up as my true self? Journaling helps you track patterns, uncover hidden truths, and recognize when the ego is steering the ship. Alongside journaling, try meditating with a specific focus on emotional clarity. Sit in stillness and set the intention to uncover any emotional blind spots or subconscious attachments to false light. Ask your higher self to reveal what no longer serves you and to help you step into an authentic version of yourself. If you felt like your intuition has been clouded by the noise of the world, now's the time to clear it out. Mindfulness practices are also essential right now. Every time you catch yourself comparing your journey to others, pause, take a deep breath, remind yourself that your path is unique. The act of noticing when the ego takes hold is the first step in freeing yourself from it. Each moment you choose to come back to your true self, grounded in humility and vulnerability, you align with the energy of this conjunction. The conjunction invites a radical shift in how we view ourselves. This isn't a time for perfectionism or ego-driven success stories. It's about humility, acknowledging that we all have shadows, we all have weaknesses, and we all have areas of our spiritual journey that need growth. This moment is about embracing vulnerability, not hiding behind a perfect image. And above all, it's about radical honesty. If you've been following the wrong teachers or chasing after external validation, this is your opportunity to get real with yourself and reclaim your own truth. But it's not always easy to know when you're caught in the web of spiritual narcissism or false light. So how do you know if your path has been hijacked by ego? How do you distinguish between genuine spiritual growth and ego-driven illusion? It starts with asking yourself some deep, introspective questions. Are you constantly seeking validation from others? Are you measuring your worth by how many followers you have, how many people affirm your spiritual insights, or how often you're praised for your wisdom? That's a huge red flag. Spiritual growth isn't about impressing others. It's about evolving for your own soul's evolution, not to maintain an image. Ask yourself, am I drawn to those who inflate my ego or validate my belief that I'm somehow more enlightened than others? If you find yourself engaging with people or leaders who thrive on keeping you in a state of dependency or one-upmanship, that's a sign that something might not be right. Authentic spiritual teachers empower you to see your own truth. They don't seek to control or manipulate your path. One of the most glaring signs of being entangled in spiritual narcissism or following false light is a lack of genuine connection. Spiritual growth is about unity, not division. If you feel more isolated, more competitive, or more disconnected from others after engaging in a spiritual practice or community, something is off. Real spirituality connects, it doesn't separate. But don't feel guilty if any of these signs resonate with you. This isn't about shame, it's about awareness. The Moon-Venus conjunction is calling you to wake up, to take a closer look at the paths you've chosen, and to realign with something more authentic. Your spiritual journey is not about perfection. It's about evolution. Every step you take towards self-awareness is a victory. Now let's talk about the transformation that happens when you confront these shadows. There are real stories of people who have broken free from the grip of spiritual narcissism. One person I know was deeply involved in a spiritual community that, on the surface, seemed like the perfect place to grow and heal. But over time, they began to notice a pattern of behavior that didn't sit right. The leaders of the community were always promoting their own exclusive teachings, making everyone feel like they were less than if they didn't follow the prescribed path. Eventually, this individual realized that the group's message was more about control than about spiritual freedom. They decided to step away, to face the discomfort of questioning everything they had believed. It wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt and fear, moments when they questioned whether they'd made the right decision. But in the end, they found a new path, one that was theirs, not defined by the ego of others. This story isn't unique. Thousands of people are waking up to the truth that spirituality isn't about following someone else's agenda. It's about owning your own truth. Stories like this are proof that transformation is possible when we face our spiritual shadows head-on. The energy of this conjunction is here to help you make that shift, to help you break free from the ego traps, to find the truth that's been buried beneath the surface, and to step into a more authentic version of yourself. So what about you? How will you use this rare cosmic event to realign with your own truth? What steps are you taking to examine your spiritual path? Are you ready to break free from the illusions that have been holding you back? Drop a comment below and share your journey. This is your moment to step into your true power, embrace it fully, and let's walk this path together. As we step into the energy of this Moon-Venus conjunction on October 20th, 2025, it's not just an isolated event, it's the beginning of something much bigger. The cosmic spotlight is shining brightly, and it's not just illuminating the shadows within our personal lives, it's casting a beam across the entire spiritual landscape, and especially within spiritual communities. Over the coming months, the ripple effects of this conjunction are going to reverberate deeply, both within the larger collective and on the individual journeys of countless people. This isn't a one-time event. The influence of this conjunction will extend far beyond October 20th. It's like a spark that sets off a chain reaction, one that will lead to a cultural shift in how we approach spirituality in America. Over the next year or so, there will be a growing movement toward more authentic, grounded spirituality. People are going to start waking up to the reality that spiritual practices are not about perfection, external validation, or self-promotion. They are about deep inner transformation and connection to something greater than ourselves. As the veil of false light begins to lift, more people will seek out spirituality that is real, raw, and unfiltered. This will be a time when the hunger for authenticity, vulnerability, and honesty in spiritual practices will grow. The spiritual community will likely see a rise in individuals who are less concerned with being seen as enlightened and more concerned with doing the hard work of healing and integrating their true selves. That's the power of this conjunction. It's going to inspire a collective reevaluation of what it means to walk a spiritual path. The coming months won't be without their challenges, though. There will be moments of resistance, moments when the ego tries to cling to old habits, to the false narratives it's built. But if we embrace this shift, if we open ourselves to the cosmic invitation to step into a higher level of consciousness, we will witness a real transformation. This is a chance for us to release the outdated paradigms and embrace a more holistic, loving, and grounded approach to our spiritual journeys. We're being called to align with the truth, not just for our own growth, but for the collective good. This is the time to come together as conscious seekers and to support one another on the path toward real spiritual awakening. The energy of this conjunction is urging you to join in this collective awakening. It's calling you to be part of a new wave of individuals who are not just going to accept what they've been told or follow someone else's light, but who are going to find their own. This is your invitation to take off the mask, to step into a place of radical authenticity, and to become a living example of what it means to live from a place of truth. Now, as we near the end of this conversation, I want to leave you with one last thought. Honor this rare celestial moment by committing to greater self-awareness. This is not just about what the stars are doing. This is about what you are doing in your life right now. What are the masks you've been wearing? What parts of your spiritual journey have been driven by ego instead of true connection? What false lights have you been following, or perhaps even projecting? Use this conjunction as a moment to reflect deeply on these questions. And when you do, don't be afraid to confront the answers. Be kind to yourself in this process, but be willing to challenge yourself as well. The most profound shifts come from being honest about where we've been and where we want to go. I encourage you to share your experiences. Reflect on the ideas I've shared today and continue questioning what light really means in your life. Is it truly authentic? Is it nourishing? Or is it an illusion that needs to be cast aside for something more genuine? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Share your stories, your insights, your own journey toward truth. Let's build a community of conscious seekers who are committed to true transformation. This isn't just about one person's awakening. It's about all of us coming together to support each other and rise to a higher level of collective consciousness. Thanks.